just before you go on, my brother Todd Boogie, shout out for the video. Um, there's also a reality where people might just be super paranoid, right? They might just know themselves when they drunk. They might know that when they drunk, their weakened senses, their sense of just how insecure they are, how emotional they are, how easily people can take advantage of them, blah blah blah. Like that kind of thing may have somebody who may not trust someone else with driving them home. You know what I'm saying? Like my bad, somebody who knows that they sloppy when they drunk, maybe like, yo, I might just designate somebody to drive me somewhere. But like even that, when we're talking about Ubers, because an Uber is a vehicle that's driven by somebody you don't know. It's a stranger, right? Now you're drunk. The Uber driver may just like see you being drunk, because they are devious like people everywhere, bro. Even within that kind of industry of delivering people and driving them home in taxis and shit like that. It's like you can get somebody who can see that you're clearly drunk, and then maybe take advantage of you in that way. Maybe go drop you off in some dingy area. You know what I'm saying? Run you off of all of whatever you're wearing, whatever you got, gadgets, jewelry, whatever, money. You know what I'm saying? Especially now if you're a female. You know what I'm saying? There's like these cases where they get sexually violated. You feel what I'm saying? Kidnapped, blah blah. So I would understand that part of things when you would find somebody being stubborn and say, nah, I'll handle everything, bro. Even though I'm drunk, I'll handle everything. And now, you know what I'm saying? That kind of mindset even bleeds to moments when they're just like make the dumbest decisions. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker like that would be so, they've doubled down on them handling things regardless of whether they're drunk or not, that even something as can I say important, bro, of a consideration as drinking and now having to drive. You know what I'm saying? Going to whatever hangout with like friends, and now your friends' lives are at your hands. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about driving to the function and back. You know what I'm saying? Because now you've been a human being that's like, nah, man, I'll handle everything. Even when I'm drunk, I'm good. Now you're used to that, thinking that even that you take lightly. The fact that you're about to drive a whole bunch of people to a function and back, knowing that you're about to go drink, like you take that lightly, bruh. And then like it all cycles, and it builds momentum to a breaking point where it's that one single moment that defines everything. You know what I'm saying? Not only your life was in danger, but the passengers, bro, your friends, bro, close people. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how people live with themselves where you get a situation where the driver survives the accident and all the passengers is like killed. You know what I'm saying? Like even that, like you even at that point you even created a torturous situation or a moment of suffering for yourself, because you're gonna have to live with that kind of guilty conscience. You know what I'm saying? And now, don't even get me started with the people whose lives are affected as a result of their people having been taken away as a result of drunken driving. You know what I'm saying? You got this family over here, mother who lost all what Ty Boogie said, all his sons, all her children, all her kids, as a result of drunken driving. That's enough to change somebody's life. As I said, bro, it's like, yo, you might even be so traumatized by the thing that you might not even want to touch a moving vehicle in your life. It's enough to change your whole perception of reality, bro. Feel what I'm saying? Now, of course, people are gonna want to have their fun. Of course, people are gonna want to relax however they want to relax. They're gonna want to, stick to their vices, bro. They're gonna want, especially now when we're talking about this younger generation, Gen Z, and how, you know what I'm saying, the drinking vice is affecting them in terms of making, these kind of dark decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like when we're looking at that, bro, it's all just like the people that raised them, really. You know what I'm saying? You get like older people in the family where, for the older people in the family, like what inhumane amounts of alcohol consumption are justified because what this guy makes the most money or this guy's the most respected in the family. It can be your dad, you know what I'm saying? And a whole bunch of degenerate shit you see your dad do, dog, and you're not allowed to question that. A whole lot of people are in those kind of situations where you're not allowed to question that, but you see the old man doing this shit. Say he's the most respectable, he's the most respected man, da da da. You try to question that shit, you just gotta cross the face right quick. Get the fuck on, right quick. You don't question that man, you know what I'm saying? And then okay, cool, you live your life, like you see that whole thing going on, and then you get to a position where, yo, you are your father's child at the end of the day. You're gonna want to emulate that kind of behavior. You know what I'm saying? But then now, boom, like that energy has never been harnessed. You know what I'm saying? Towards maybe giving you the right advice, giving you the right lessons of what alcohol consumption could do in an understanding way. All you had was the across the face. Get the fuck out of it. Don't question that shit and don't be doing this bullshit under my roof. It's only me that can drink. Your dad. You know what I'm saying? Then you're like, man. So that whole thing, like, you suppress the whole curiosity of like questioning this whole alcohol consumption in the family, that now you want to go do it in your own capacities by yourself, you know what I'm saying, far away from the family. And now you hit maybe a legal age, you're still young, you still, you know what I'm saying, are susceptible to making the dumbest decisions. You're young as fuck, impressionable as fuck, and then now you go in and you know, scratch the itch of your curiosity, the same curiosity that was shut away by your family members. You go and explore that, right? But you're young, and then now what happens? You get behind that wheel. You feel what I'm saying? Because now you feel like, bro, like my dad did this thing, bro. Nobody questioned him. Nobody should question me, dog. Fuck it. And then that one night, with that one decision, you just never make it back home. You know what I'm saying? You wrecked your dad's car, and more than that, more like worse than that, you took your own life and the lives of your friends, like in the process. You know what I'm saying? So it's literally crazy. I feel like the whole thing of just families that, you know, are under this spirit, bro, of alcohol consumption as their vice. These are things that, you know, people see in their family members, dog. Maybe they never get to question them. Maybe they're, you know what I'm saying? These figures within their family that consume alcohol were never questioned. They were always like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you don't delve into that. You don't have a conversation about that. He's just your dad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Of course you're gonna get into that. Of course you're gonna get hooked by that. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who you are, the kind of mind and soul that you have. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all in how, like, you raise your kids, really. And I feel like those kind of families where alcohol is a vice like that, I don't know, man, some sort of like education of the younger generation within the family, bro. These kind of demons have to be addressed. Yes, they are demons or whatever the fuck, but you have to address them. These other things that happen, and they happen in front of the kids. That's like the fucked up part about it. They happen in front of the kids, and they never get to be addressed. And then now when the kids take on those same demons, when they inherit those same demons, tragic situations like this happen. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like just like the sex talk, bruh, have like the vice talk, whatever. You can see the like people in the family that like have these vices that are gonna have the kids hooked. You know what I'm saying? At some point or the other. So like, you feel me? I feel like, yo, raise your kids up to understand these vices that y'all go through. They're there. If you don't want your kids to just like have any justification of these kind of things, then don't do them. Get out of them before you have the kids. Why not? Like, come on, bro. And I know these things are better said than done, but they're necessary then, dog, so that we don't have these kind of situations. Clearly, Gen Z's, you know what I'm saying? Right now, Gen Z's, bro, from this clip that I'm seeing, they're you know, far off from being able